sick of looking at myself from the same angle all the time. So that's why I set my iPad down on the table. We're gonna pop some extra cinnamon gum in today. And we are going to just talk about some random things that like I saved in my notes. When I say random, I mean like, whoa, they don't connect at all. They're just random. But before we do that, you know what we gotta do. We gotta take care of the channel maintenance, channel hygiene. Channels are little Tamagotchis. So if you're new here, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back, OGs. If you're new here, please consider hitting subscribe. And if you are old here, go double check. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like if you like. Leave a comment. It could be anything related to the video. Or it could just be a hello or a few emojis, whatever. As long as it's cool, respectful. Hit the notification bell. As always, I'll link my tip jars down yonder in the description box. No pressure whatsoever, but every $1 or $2 helps. That's what allows me to continue to make content. All my other links, emails for collabs and customs down below. Links to my social medias down below. And take a sip of water too. Oh, I haven't had cinnamon gum in a while. Still working on the gum that Ida got me. Getting a little lower, but still working on it. So thanks, Ida. It's been months. I've been chewing on this. Extra is amazing. It lasts throughout the whole video. Sometimes one piece lasts for like 3 videos, and it still tastes good. Okay. Have any of you made it onto North Sea TikTok? North Sea TikTok. Like, I didn't know much about the North Sea. I don't know much about geography, period, because they don't teach us that much over here. But it's supposed to be one of the most, if not the most dangerous sea on our planet. But people still have to work out there. It's like oil or something. So there's like, they get oil out of the middle of the ocean. If you watch these videos of how it's done on TikTok, I don't know how they get anybody to, like, what are they paying these people? What are they paying these people? It would have to be $500,000 a year. And I know, like, if it made it to TikTok, it's probably one of the extreme situations. But there's people just falling off boats all the time in this, like, freezing, turbulent sea. The water just whooshes onto the boat, or the ships. The ships are, like, straight up in the air sometimes, like, vertical. I don't understand how anybody's working out there. But watching those videos gives me intrusive thoughts of like, I want to be out there. I want to do it. I just want to see it for myself. I probably wouldn't last more than a couple days. I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't even, it looks like stuff from a movie. It does not look like, how could there be a place this dangerous that there are humans just hanging out, working on ships? And then if you stay on North Sea TikTok for long enough, it'll route you over to Antarctica TikTok. I don't know how it does that. And the ships that like plunge through Antarctica, and they have like the ships are made really pointy so that it can crush the ice as it goes through, and there's just like ice chunks floating everywhere. In one video I watched yesterday, I have to keep doing this because nothing, my ears are weird and nothing stays where it's supposed to. There was like a big ice chunk and there was 2 guys standing on it. And you watch them just fall off. So of course the comments are like, rest in peace, or what the heck? Did we just, like, that might be too much to put on TikTok. Because there's no way they could have lived. But of course I had to go dissect the comments and see for myself, and a couple people said no, that they did live. I don't know how, because ice, like hypothermia, it didn't look like they had ropes or anything holding them to it. So I don't know. It was supposed to be 2 explorers that they're like, oh, that's such and such, and somebody, and they're fine. I'm like, all right. I could never. Antarctica, I don't like the cold here in the Midwest. So my daughter was telling me that she heard, it wasn't from a teacher, but like one of her friends said that nobody lives in Antarctica. I'm like, nobody? She's like, no, they're just like scientists that go out there and stay for a while, but they don't live there. Kind of weird, right? Because you think there'd be a few of those people that just didn't go back home? I don't know. So let me know if you have seen or been on North Sea Tack. But trigger warning, if you go on to North Sea Tack, I'm not responsible for the trauma that it inflicts on you, because I can't stop watching, and I share the misery, because sometimes I'll send it to like friends or family, and they're like, quit sending me this shit. It scares me. I'm gonna have nightmares. I'm like, I have to. I can't just sit here with this. Alright, what else? Okay. Did you see that Blueface? You know, Blueface and Krishan had the baby or whatever. Blueface went back to Alexis, his original baby mama. But he still gets to visit the baby, or like she drops the baby off, or I don't know what their deal is. And supposedly they had already had a paternity test, and it was his. But while he has the baby, he posts, first of all, a long time ago, I don't know why he's allowed to have the baby, because he posted the baby's privates, because the baby has a hernia, I think, or the baby has something going on. I think it's a hernia. He posted the baby's privates, and was like, this is because Krishan drank during her pregnancy. And that's not how hernias happen. Like, I had a puppy that was born with a hernia before. Not to mention, I get the feeling like if she drank while she was pregnant, he was probably right there with her, making her drink or giving it to her, because that's what their relationship looked like. Not that she couldn't have said no, but I think that he's very abusive and manipulative. I've seen him put that bottle in her face in different clips, like, just drink. He ain't right. None of them are right, but he ain't right. And from what I heard, he get it from his mama. He's so sassy. Anyway, while he had the baby, he posted that he said, I snook and did a test. And he says, like, the baby ain't mine. And then he snook and did a test. And the baby ain't his. And he said it was a bitter sweat moment. Bitter sweat. I'm sure he meant bittersweet. But he said he snook and did the test, and the baby was in, and it was a bitter sweat moment. This is who y'all made famous? Not us. I know. Maybe there's a few. some of the tunes are catchy, but I think most of the time people that listen to Blueface music are probably pretty underage, probably. Also, he didn't post the test. I think the dude's just completely full of shit 24/7. Any way you slice him. I don't think that dude could tell the truth if there was to his head. Like, I don't. He didn't post the test, and there's a reason why these at-home tests aren't admissible. Because sneaky people could. Like, okay, let's just make a situation. Say that I had a son that, you know, he had like a one-night stand, and some girl comes and she's like, this baby is yours. And he's like, no, it ain't. How could it be? Well, there's always a chance if you guys slept together, so let's figure this out. But if he, like this imaginary son, didn't want to be the dad, he could just be like, all right, let me take a swab from my friend's mouth and a swab from the baby's mouth. Send those in, because it's like a mail order thing. And then it's going to send back something that says you're not the father. And that's why it's not admissible, because you did it at home. Or he could do his own mouth, and then he could do like a neighbor kid or a neighbor's. The DNA doesn't tell you the age of the baby anyway, so you could just do any two people, send it in and be like, look, it says I'm not the father. So I don't think that, I don't know, I haven't looked into it deep enough to see if they had a professional test done. Then he went to say, I think he said it's Charles Barkley's baby, because the baby looks like Charles Barkley. Not because Krishan had any connection to Charles Barkley, but the baby does look like Charles Barkley. But a lot of babies kind of look like Charles Barkley. Like, Charles Barkley has a round head like a baby. The baby's cute. It's got like cute little eyebrows. I can see Charles Barkley resemblance, but that doesn't mean Charles Barkley is the dad. Okay, my toddler was born looking like a werewolf, and that doesn't mean that I cheated with a werewolf. I don't know, I can't stop watching that couple. I can't. It's like, I don't seek to watch that couple, but when it pops up, I'm like, what's going on with these guys today? It's just off the chain. And I think that it's starting to come out that he's been cheating with also men, which, I mean, my radar was up for that. Like, I think he gives off like a sassy, I think that the reason he treats women bad like that is because he does feel a little womanly inside. And he's kind of like pretty too. If he wasn't such a piece of shit, he could be like a model probably. He's like, but there are some people that I don't think will ever be okay no matter how much help they get. I think they're like bad inside. I think he's one of them. Okay. So I must have been on, this is stuck in my head. I don't think it was in a video. I think I was just reading it in my bed. I think it was on Am I the Ahole page on Reddit, but I'm not sure if that's where it was or if it was on another Reddit thread or something on Facebook. But this girl was talking about, you know, the headline was, is it rude or is my mom the a-hole for walking around naked? And at first I'm thinking maybe, I guess, like, it depends on a lot of things. Where is she at? You know, is she at your school? How old is the kid? And so I'm like, let's read this one. And so I read it. And the girl is in her 20s, the writer. And she said that she walks into her mom's room and that sometimes she forgets to knock. And that her mom will be in there, like, naked, getting ready, doing whatever. And her mom just doesn't rush to put on clothes. And she thinks that her mom is an a-hole for it. And I got really concerned, not about that, because, like, people go to their bedrooms to do that, to get ready and be private, you know. So the a-hole is anybody that is barging into a private quarters. You expect them to rush to cover themselves. But there were so many comments that were just like, yeah, that's almost abuse. Like, that's traumatizing. She should cover up. I'm like, you guys, the kid is in their 20s. Same sex, same gender. All that aside, nobody told you to barge into your mom's room. I was more upset by how many comments are just immediately blaming the mom. And I feel like so much of the internet is like that right now. Like, any little thing a mom does, that she's gonna get tore apart. And I don't like that. I don't like that. At a certain point in life, we are talking about two grown folks. I was actually just talking to my teenager about this in the car on the way home yesterday, and how sometimes I just have to get off social media because the mom slam shit. It's not really the dad. Sometimes the dad slam. And I get it, because I got beef. I've always had some beef with my parents. But I was like, people will just assume that when a kid doesn't talk to their mom, like when there's a rift in a relationship between a kid and a mom, that the mom must have done something horrible. But I've seen on all these things, like, it can be something as little as that, like, where she was naked in her room, like yeah, go no contact, or like I don't understand what's going on with the internet right now within the last, like, couple of years. I've seen things like this time and time again, and she's like, yeah, I don't know. She goes, and I said, at a certain point, you're talking about two adults, you know. Two adults can harm each other in so many different ways. They can harm each other over money. They can harm each other over, you know, either one of them can be irrational about little stuff too. Either one, because they're just two adults. And so to immediately blame always the parent on why a relationship isn't doing good between, like, the mom and an adult child is weird to me. It's weird to me. Especially when I see, from what I've seen in the recovery community, and how many people have talked about this, like, in the rooms, what they did to their parents while they were in active addictions and stuff. And they're like, absolutely, I need to make this up to my mom. And, like, she has no reason to talk to me when I have stolen, broken her house, taken her jewelry, to, like, things that people do in addiction. And a parent is well within their rights to say, I can't do this anymore. Like, you are truly putting me and my life at risk like this. So I've seen that. I've seen it, you know, I've seen it from every angle. Like I said, I've had beef with my own parents. Right now, I'm not talking to my stepdad. Is it my fault? No. And it ain't. It ain't. And I might. You know, time is of the essence because he has Parkinson's and stuff, but it's gotten worse with the Parkinson's because it does take like a mental, I think, when he feels like he's losing control of his body, he tries to get control of other things. People get a little out of character, but this isn't out of character for him. It's like amplified character, which is why it's so triggering to me. But anyway, me and him are both right now 2 adults, right? So had he been a decent person, I could have definitely screwed things up, and then we wouldn't be talking, and it would have been on me. Like, not just because I'm the daughter am I free of what transpires between 2 grown folks. Okay. Alright, we'll do one more thing. Might get a little pushback for this, but I don't think that North and Kim, I don't think that North humbling her mom is cute. And I hate when I have to defend a Kardashian. Kanye made me do it, and North makes me do it. But like, you know, North and Kim will be, you know, recording, like I'm recording right now. She'll be talking about like, oh, I'm doing this makeup look, and North is sitting over there and kind of just like bashing her mom. And the internet goes wild for it. They're like, oh, Slam, oh, look at North humbling Kim. Oh, that's a little Kanye. Oh, that's Kim's karma. And I'm like, this seems like just brat behavior to me. Like, why are you just sitting there constantly berating your mom? Now, should Kim get off the phone? Probably. Or off the camera sometimes? Probably. But that's another point. Like, since when were kids allowed to just sit there and say rude things to their parents? And then the internet goes wild. Like, oh, Slam. And there was like a designer that had designed one of Kim's dresses for an event. And right in front of the designer, North was talking about how the dresses were ugly. I'm sorry, what? You're not gonna say that. This is somebody's art. This is somebody's art. Can you, until we get out of here, you can tell me this in private. You don't talk like that around other people. Somebody put probably weeks or months into a project, and you are like, what, 9? You're like, ew, that's so ugly. Like, I'm not gonna allow my kid to talk like that around people and to people. These are just basic manners, and I don't understand. You can tease, first of all. You can lightly tease people. I'm not saying that you're not allowed to like a dress or be like, oh, I'm not a big fan of that, or to lightly tease, you know, with your peers and stuff. But if all day all you do is slam your mom, what kind of person are you gonna be? I just think there's like no respect there. You don't see it back. Like, you don't see Kim giving it back to her. I would. Like, oh, you grown? All right, we grown. You don't see her correct her. Like, excuse me, that's not appropriate. And maybe you shouldn't see parents correcting their kids. Like, on camera because that is a little weird. But you know, if she was correcting her, there would be some kind of curb in behavior. I just don't think it's cute, and I don't know why the internet's going wild for it. Kids can be funny. I watch funny kids all the time on TikTok and stuff. Kids are funny. But you don't have to be funny at the expense of other people. And it's almost like, why? It's like the kind of funny where you don't want to let people enjoy themselves. I don't like that kind of funny. There's a million ways to be funny. And there's some ways that just are like, are you okay? You got like big hater energy going on. Alright, I said what I said. A little rant, crackle, pop. Rant, crackle, pop. Anyway.